Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Father and Daughter Talk. This is Pop Brown. It is Saturday night. Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, as you come in the room, please share. Tonight we got a hot topic. Tonight we're going to be talking about a very, very difficult topic. You know, that's what we do. That's what we do on throughout this whole series, the Miss B's Let's Talk series. You know, we talk about things that are relevant. You know, we talk about things that are today. We talk about tough subjects sometimes. You know, that things that folks don't really want to touch on. But you know what? Sometimes we just got to get out there. Sometimes we have to get out there and talk about the things that need to be talked. Hey, yo, Ariana, how you doing? Listen, beautiful daughter-in-law in the house. Listen, go ahead and share when you guys come in the room. Please share. Again, tonight we're going to be talking about again one of those topics, that people kind of run away from a little bit. Tonight we're going to be talking about the happy blended family, okay, versus baby mama drama. Okay, happy blended family versus baby mama slash daddy mama drama, daddy drama. You know what I mean? Because it ain't just mama with the drama. Daddy got some drama too. So we're gonna be talking about that stuff tonight. We're gonna give an opportunity also to come in and talk about it, talk with us a little bit too. We're gonna give an opportunity to come in and dial in and talk to us. Okay, we're gonna need you, for your comments. Go ahead and hit Let's Talk. Text Let's Talk to 256-945-5439. Okay, we want to hear what you got to say tonight. Also tonight we're gonna be joined by three guys that I feel very, very, very proud of. But three guys that's going to come and share, and not only three guys, but maybe some other callers that's going to share. A little bit about what they've experienced. You know what I mean? We're gonna hear from the men tonight as well. And so ladies, we'll get a perspective from their side. We hear from their side. So it's important that we get that we hear it all. Tonight we're gonna cover some ground. Y'all. So let's we're gonna try to do it in this hour. So let's go ahead and again, when you come in, please hit share, please share, bring it, listen, invite everybody you can into this one. Okay. Happy blended family versus baby mama drama. Okay? Listen, this is a hot topic. This is a hot topic. It's one of those hot buttons that we need to, actually we need to talk about right now because something tells me that's part of, some of the stuff that's going on in the homes today may be contributed to this very thing. So let's talk about that a little bit tonight. Okay, we're gonna be joined tonight by three guys, that I personally love, you know what I mean, because they just happen to be my sons. They're gonna be talking about some of their experiences. They're gonna be transferred in that, and try to help some people through, and I think we're gonna be joined by some other family members. Hopefully, I'm praying I get to talk with my daughter-in-law a little bit, because she definitely got some stuff to share for y'all. Share with y'all. That's gonna help somebody. I promise you, it's gonna help somebody. So absolutely, when you come in, please hit share. Yeah, please hit share. And so we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started a little bit. Okay. Let me just start out with this. Okay. There's an article written by a guy named Eric Liggett. Eric wrote this. He said the statistics don't lie. First of all, that's how he started off. Statistics don't lie. He said over 50% of marriages end in divorce. Many of these unions produce children, and once parents go their separate ways, many become involved in new relationships. Okay, these turn in often contribute to become additional failed relationships. He said they turn to failed relationships. Some produce children born out of wedlock, short-term relationships, and various other additional burdens, and that becomes a blended family. Now, in fact, he says, researchers predict that soon the blended family will represent the majority of families in the U.S., as opposed to the traditional unit with a natural mother, natural father, and then natural children. Because of this, today there's a greater chance of connecting with someone who has a child, bringing with it the likelihood of some involvement with the alternative parent, natural parent of his or her children, and the drama that comes with it. So... So, there's a lot to be said, about this drama, whereas mama drama, a daddy drama, from the ex. There's a lot to be said by that. And there's a lot of folks that get hurt through this. Some of the people that get hurt through this are the children, definitely the children, because they witness this nonsense, and they have to experience this nonsense. A lot of time it happens, this goes on when the parents, as Eric in his article said, they split. and one parent is finally hooks up, or they get with another individual, and they do well. They find happiness. Well, now this person who had done it, this other individual, be it mama, daddy, I'm gonna use daddy here because I know some daddies like that. That daddy see mama doing well, and suddenly, he want to show out. I want my son, he don't want another man raising his kid. Well, you weren't doing a good job at it. You didn't want to do it at all. As a matter of fact, you took a job under the table, so you don't have to pay child support, or you come by and you see little Bobby, every 6 months for 10 minutes, or better yet, when you do come by, on the pretense of seeing the kids, you know what I mean, hanging out with the kids, you really want to, you just really want to check about mama and see how she's doing, or trying to get with her and all this all kind of stuff. Come on, the games, the games, and so a lot of that happens, and again, when it goes on like that, the kids suffer, and so tonight we talking about it, but on the flip side of that, there are those situations that work. There are all those situations that absolutely work, but you got to put the work in to make it happen. Tonight we're going to be talking to somebody who's got a situation that's worked. Now, is it perfect? I don't know. He can share it with you, and he can tell you all about it. But if we're gonna dial him up in a minute, and we can talk about that a little bit. But we're gonna talk. There are situations that do work. There are families, there are blended families that do work. As long as we're dealing with adults and not children. I'm not talking about the kids now. I'm talking about those that are supposed to be adults. Okay, as long as we're dealing with mature individuals, this thing can work. But the drama comes when one hating on the other one, and you ain't supposed to be doing good. Because when she left you, you supposed to fell in your face. When he left you, you ain't supposed to. You supposed to be. You know what I mean? You ain't supposed to have this or be going through that, or you ain't supposed to have that. You know what I mean? So now he's mad because you doing better. And now he mad at the stepdaddy, and I hate to use the word step, I've never used the word, I don't like that word. He's just he's just a daddy that stepped up, is what he is, okay, and did what you didn't do, okay, or what you wouldn't do, or what you couldn't do, so hats off to him for that, hats off to him for that. Okay. Listen, we're not gonna hold it because we got a lot to talk about tonight. So I'm gonna try to get our first caller on the line. Let me see. Our first individual on the line. Let me see if I can reach him. This, again, every situation is not gonna be, it's not gonna be perfect. We know that every situation is not gonna be perfect. Every person that's in the blended relationship, or every person who's raising another person's child, and all that, it's not going to be perfect. You're going to have some stuff going on. You're going to have that happening, but when it happens, you got to know how to handle it. You got to know how to deal with it the right way. So let's talk to somebody who's dealt with that. Okay, let's see if we can get him on the line here. Okay, I'm going to introduce this guy while we're ringing. His name is Donzel, and last name happens to be Brown. And Pop Brown, that's kind of connection there. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing there, dude?
I'm good, Pop. I'm good.
All right. Hey, listen, America, meet my son, Donzel Brown. Donzel's in the situation where, he's actually dealing with it. You don't mind if I put this out there. You want to put it out to yourself. But
go for it.
Okay. All right. Well, Donzel's actually dealing with a situation where he's got a blended family. You know what I mean? He's in a blended family situation. And so, but remember I said earlier, there are those situations that work, but you got to put in the work. I'm going to let him talk to you a little bit about his situation. Floor is yours, son.
So before I start, I want to, the whole baby mama thing. I hate the term baby mama. It always gives off negative vibes.
It does.
So, if you got to refer to the mother of your child as a baby mama, then you probably don't have a relationship with her, and that's probably problem number one. So, as a man that has a blended family, I mean, I would first tell you that it's work. It's a lot of work. It's not only relationship building with continuously with your child, your biological child. Now you have your significant other, which my wife, and my daughter that I inherited. So, it's all three relationships. I mean, all of those relationships have to work in order for this thing to work.
Okay.
And my wife can tell you, Oriana can tell you that we dated for a while before we let the kids meet.
Okay.
Before the kids even met, we dated for a while because that's an important moment right there.
It is.
You know,
It
if
is.
you
Yes.
if you push into that too soon, it can do damage.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason we did that because we knew if my kids don't like your kid, or if my girls, we all got girls, so if my girls don't like your girl, or if they don't like you, or vice versa, if your child doesn't like me or my girls, then this is over.
Wow.
Like this is done, and we knew it because we were vested into our child. So you know, by the grace of God, when they first linked up, I mean, it was like they knew each other for years. So it was great. You know, we were still looking at each other surprised off that. So, you know, it was great.
Let me throw a question in real quick right there, Donnie. That's interesting. That was real interesting. That the fact that you said if the kids didn't work, you know, regardless of what you guys felt for each other, if it didn't work with the kids, then it wouldn't work.
No.
Okay. A lot of people don't see it that way. They're like, listen, this is my boo. We booed up, and the kid, you know what I mean, and the kid is gonna be with the kids.
No, that's not the case. Because I mean, your responsibility right now is to the child that you have. So if you bring somebody negative into that situation, there will be potential consequences for both you and your kids. This man or woman may hurt your kids. They may demean you in front of your kids, so now they have a negative complex of who they should be with. Wow. So they see you with a guy or a woman that's, you know, verbally or physically abusing you, and they think that that's okay. Or somebody that, you know, you just don't have any business being with you. You bring those people around your kids, you're just asking for trouble. You're asking for an example, and they will be an example to your kids because kids see everything.
Wow, yeah,
everything. So you know, and going back to just backtracking on the whole thing of the bitter. You touched on the bitter situation where, you know, I'm talking from a man's perspective. So let's just say a man moves on to, you know, another relationship, or just leaves his child's mom. Period. The relationship don't work out. They're not together. So, you know, before you can go around saying, you know, the mother of my child, or my baby mama, as they would probably call them, is, you know, not letting me see my kid, or she bitter, or she's this or she's that. First, you gotta make sure that you are who you claim to be. And what I mean by that is, are you taking care of your child? Are you taking care of your child financially and have a relationship with your child?
There you go. Okay.
Two,
okay.
What level of respect do you have for your child's mom? Are you cussing her out every day? Are you hitting on her? Are you, you know, just putting her through all tons of crap? You know, you may not like her, but you gotta respect her.
Yes.
You know, you can't disrespect your child's mom or your child's dad and expect everything to go smooth.
There you go.
You just can't do that. So, you know, you gotta understand that the other person, you know, in the relationship that was left, you know, with the child in place, instead of, you know, you got to understand their perspective too. You know, if you are who you say you are, if you're an upstanding man, you got to understand that, you know, you may not been the person that you are now then. So
True.
You may be in a totally different mindset.
True.
But the person that they remember is still that same person you were then. And the only thing that can heal that is time and consistency on your part.
But you got to want to do that too.
As that man.
You know, you got to want to do that. You got to really want to. Yeah, you got to want to put the work in. You just can't, you know, expect that to, you know, to kind of just happen, because it doesn't just happen. You know, you got to put the work in. You know.
Yep.
You got to put
That's
the work
true.
in. So let me ask you this. Now, because it's two sides to this coin.
Yep.
So in your particular, I know your story. I mean, I listen. I love my my granddaughter's mothers. I love them. They do a great job with them. But let me ask you this: how was it? How was you and Oriana able to get them on board and you guys just come together like this? How did you
Oh
pull it
man,
off?
it was tough. It was
Mm-hmm.
tough. Again, I know the man I am now,
Mm-hmm.
and with all my flaws I have now, I wasn't the same person then.
Okay.
I had even more flaws then. I wasn't as consistent. I wasn't as upstanding. I wasn't really when I was with them. I wasn't really the guy that I am now,
Okay. Okay.
mentally. Which I recognize that, and it
Okay.
takes maturity to recognize that first of all.
I can relate.
Uh, so right, right. Uh, so I made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
I said a lot of wrong things. I did a lot of wrong things, and those things came back to bite me
Mm.
when it was time to have a relationship with my child.
Mm.
So it was like, hey, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna, walk smoothly, and go about things like I want to see my kids and about it the way I want to, but they're seeing that other guy and they're saying, you're not gonna bring my kids around there. You're not gonna bring my daughter into this. Nope, you can't do this. Who is this person? Who is that person?
Good.
So, and I'm thinking, well, I'm a grown man. You can't tell me, what to do. So I mean, it was, and then that whole, that's early on. But then, moving on to my, when I got in a relationship with my wife, it was still there as let's see how long this is gonna last,
Right.
or
Right. Right.
it's still kind of skepticism there, that we had to go through. Me and my wife, we had arguments about it. Just being transparent, we had arguments about it. Because there was certain things that I felt like she didn't understand from a man's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point in time, I've built this relationship with the mother of my child,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm coveting that relationship, like I'm guarding that relationship with my life.
Okay.
So anything that would that I think would interfere with that relationship, I'm trying to stop it from happening.
Okay. Okay.
So, and sometimes it's overboard. And sometimes that we feel like we don't have control in the situation, and we make one wrong move,
Mm-hmm.
then it's over for our relationships with our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to come to the realization myself that that's not the case.
Wow. Wow.
I had to come to that realization. So when I came to that realization, it changed my relationships with their mothers.
Mm-hmm.
And then in turn, welcomed, my wife into the fold. They built the relationship. So when everything got put on the table, all defenses came down, and we realized, hey, we are all people that we can trust. Our commonality is we love our kids,
That's it. That's it.
and neither one of us would do anything to hurt our kids. And once we got that common ground down, we were able to work together on everything: birthday parties, scheduled pickups, anything.
Very
We
cool.
was able to work together on.
Now I'm gonna, listen. We got some comments coming in too while you're speaking, and so
Yep.
before you get off the line, I want to hit one of these. This is from Shanika. Shanika was said sometimes kids don't like their step parent just because they don't want anyone to replace their parent. So that's a tricky one.
Oh, that's true. Me and Oriana attended a blended family seminar at church,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the interesting facts that they said was, hey, it's going to take at least 7 years to build this bond. For it could feel normal,
Wow. Wow.
and that rang true. That rang true, because around that 7 year mark, and don't get me wrong, we were still looking at stuff, and some remarks that my daughter would make, and both of them on both sides would make,
Right.
and this not, and certain looks, they probably wouldn't say it out their mouth, but certain looks, with me having a quote unquote step parent growing up too, I know those looks.
Okay.
So I recognize them. So when I recognize those looks, I know what's going through their head. Like, I know I'm not your biological daddy, but
right.
But I'm not gonna say anything like that. I'm just gonna approach it like I normally would.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna put fuel to that fire.
Gotcha.
This is our relationship. So I'm not gonna put anybody down, or he ain't here, and I'm not doing all that. I'm not playing into those games. So these are the rules, and I'm going to be consistent with that. But I know for myself that I'm doing a good thing as a father.
There you go. There you go. Well, listen, hey, we certainly appreciate you coming on board, sharing with us, and at some point I might have to get my daughter-in-law's perspective on this as well. Okay, at some point, but I want to take one of these seconds. We got some folks texting in, so I want to take one of these callers, and we'll go from there. Hey, listen, appreciate you, love you, man, and thank you for the transparency.
Not a problem, love you.
All right. Okay, y'all, listen. Here we go. Let's get out here and see what we got. Okay. Wow. I mean, this is tough. This is tough.
Hello.
Hey, this is Bob Brown. You're on Let's Talk. This is Father-Daughter Talk. Who am I speaking with and where you calling from?
Hi, this is Charlie. I'm calling from Lafayette, Louisiana.
Hey, Charlie, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. So, Charlie, what you got for us tonight?
So, I just wanted to say, well, you already paid attention to that comment.
Yeah.
And Donnie addressed it. So what I wanted to do is, Donnie said a few things that I wanted a little clarification on. He said the 7-year thing. Mm-hmm. I want to know where or how did they come up with that timeline?
Okay.
And then I wanted to say, he also said that he does not speak to, where your dad's not here. I'm in a blended family, but mine is a little different than he is. I had 3 children with my ex, and then now I'm married, and we have 1 together.
Okay.
So my children not only did, and I think somebody commented to this also, not only did my children seem to treat their stepfather differently, they also began to treat me differently because I was no longer with their father.
Right.
So I made the decision for my situation that I needed to sit my children down and explain it to them. No, your father is not here. And my children were old enough to understand right from wrong, so I felt they understood me and their father's situation. Mm-hmm. For instance, they witnessed the physical abuse. Mm-hmm. And my oldest son was 6.5, 7 years old when I left his father. So he was there the day that I decided to, the day that made me decide to leave. Mm-hmm. So I felt he understood, your dad hit me, I hit your dad back. This is not normal. So mommy had to get out of that.
Mm-hmm. It's a good deal, Mom. It's a good deal.
I felt the need that I could say, this is why we aren't together. You understand that. When somebody hits you at school, how does it make you feel? Mm-hmm. So you understand why mommy's not with daddy. So why would you want to treat mommy a certain way?
But Charlie, let me ask you this. How is that affecting his relationship with his dad? How is that relationship?
It's tricky.
Okay.
For the simple fact, their father also, shortly after we separated, he moved on immediately.
Okay.
And got married and all of that. Mm-hmm. When he saw the shift that the kids, it's 3 of them, 2 boys and a girl. Mm-hmm. They weren't, the little girl, she wasn't of age. She was maybe 5 months. But the 7-year-old and the 4.5-year-old, they weren't calling. They weren't eager to see him.
Wow. Okay.
So he asked me, what are you telling them? And I told him, I didn't have to tell them anything. Your children saw the dynamics of our relationship. So once he saw that, I'm thinking he thought they weren't smart enough. I'm not going to say stupid, but he didn't think they were smart enough to process it for themselves. So once he realized, oh, they're not responding, they're not calling me back. And I even went so far, I added another line to the phone plan
Mm-hmm.
so that he could have direct access to them. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
call me. I don't want to speak to you. I don't
Right.
even want to hear your voice. But you can call their phone whenever you want it. Some days sometimes he will go weeks. At one point he went 4 months without a single phone call or text.
Wow. You know what? Now, now just still he's still on live, and he just texted. I don't know if you see his comment. They say, listen, they see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Kids see they don't miss nothing. We think
Mm-hmm.
we're hiding or shielding them from. They see everything. The thing is, they have the same, and I say this all the time. They have the same giftings that we have.
Mm-hmm.
They think like we do. They process things like we do.
Yeah.
They see and hear everything. They form their own opinions. They have their own set of emotions about things. They see and
Yeah.
hear everything. And so it's how we guide that, and is again, we think we're hiding, we think we're protecting them from this stuff, but we're not. Especially when we're doing it, it's so prevalent. It's so prevalent,
Yes.
as Donnie said before. When the guys are cussing out, he cussing out the girls, he doing this, he doing that, y'all back and forth and all that. Kids, listen, they respond to that. They respond to that. Listen, Charlie, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your transparency. I really do. I really do, and I
Thank you.
thank you for it.
Thank you.
It's father daughter talk, y'all. It's father daughter talk, and we talking about the happy blended family versus baby mama drama. We saying baby mama, but daddy's too for that matter. Daddy's too for that matter. Okay, listen. There's another caller. There's another caller that I want to kind of chime in real quick and get with this guy. Because we trying to help out. We trying to help you out tonight. We trying to get this from all perspectives. You know what I mean? And so I'm gonna chime in again. This guy, I don't know, his last name happened to be Brown too, y'all. So listen, share. Listen, absolutely. If you come in the room, please share. Please share. Please share. Listen, online with us now is this guy. You know what? He's got the same name as me. I don't know how did it happen, y'all. Welcome, Derek Brown, aka BJB. You on with us?
Hey, good evening, everybody.
Hey, good evening, man. Good evening. Listen, B, we're talking about the happy blended family versus baby mama, baby daddy drama. Mama, you know what I mean. We talking about it tonight, man. We getting deep with it tonight. So what you bringing to the table for us?
Wow, such a loaded topic.
Yes.
such a loaded topic, and I've dealt with it growing up with having step parents, and I've been the step parent. So there's a lot of different little there's a lot of different triggers that come in
Good
those
word,
situations. And I use the word triggers because some of it is mental, some of it is emotional, some of it is actually physical. And I'm not even speaking on just on an abusive standpoint, but from a physical standpoint of being able to actually see certain individuals.
Okay.
I was married to a woman who had children already. And together, we God blessed us to create 2 additional children.
Okay.
But what the older 3 were seeing is something that they didn't get. They saw their younger brothers being in an environment where they had their father every single day. That was something that they missed.
Okay.
And even though I was doing everything that I could to try to shower them with all the same love, all the same care, protection, prayer, and whatever was needed to try to cover them, there was still a physical and emotional void that I just simply couldn't fill.
Wow.
It's like I could do my best to kind of patch that hole, but there's something between a father and a daughter that's a real tough thing.
It's hard. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's a real real tough thing, and I've seen you with my sisters, so you know what I'm saying. I couldn't imagine somebody else trying to come in and trying to fill that position and trying to become you, so to speak, in their lives. It's almost impossible to do.
Well, I don't know about impossible, but I'll take it.
But even with those difficulties, the blessing is that you let them know and you made them realize that, and I know my brother spoke on something, and he mentioned that, he chooses not to use the approach of, I'm not him. And then sometimes that can actually work in your favor to let them know that, listen, I know I'm not your dad. It's like, but I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to care about you. And, sometimes that helps. Like I said, you can't never fully fill that void, but they now know that, you know what, he's on my team, or vice versa, where she's on my team for the situation where the father may move on.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're dealing with sons as opposed to dealing with daughters.
Okay.
Because that's a whole other dynamic in itself in dealing with mama's boys.
Yeah, this is
I got one, so I know.
This is true. So, but the thing is, you can let them know, listen, I'm gonna be here for you. I ain't going nowhere. I got your back. But there's still that. You know what I'm saying? There's still that tie that's there, and you expect that tie to be there. As I said, especially with daughters and fathers and daughters, it's just something about that bond. But it's just how do you get by when it don't work? When they don't buy into I got your back. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've experienced that, but how do you get past that part when whatever, you ain't my dad. You know what I'm saying? How do you get past that?
But besides banging your head against a wall, which I've done that too. You know what? Ultimately, what it comes down to, I'll be honest, it's prayer and counsel.
Okay.
You find those men that are older than yourself, that have that wisdom, that have been through life situations, that can now pass on to you, those gems that you need to move forward. And then the other thing is prayer. Pray and ask how to utilize that wisdom that you're being given.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, like just a moment of transparency, that was probably my biggest fault, is that I'm a thinker. So logically, the things that I was thinking and the way that I was moving sometimes made sense to me in a physical sense, but I wasn't praying about those decisions before I made them all. Right. So sometimes what I thought was best wasn't truly what was best, and it only took me being broken before God to understand what it was I was truly supposed to have been doing and how I truly should have been leading and guiding them to get them to a certain point and being able to fill that void.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? And because I learned from that, one of the cool things is that even though my marriage to that mother has dissolved, but even now to this day, I can still reach out and give them a word of encouragement. Or they can be in conversation with their mother and they can reach back and be like, ooh, I remember when I was younger, BJ said da 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 da.
Right. Okay.
So that lets me know that once I reached a certain point, I understood that what I was doing and what I was saying was actually still making an imprint. And I think ultimately from the beginning of the relationship, for the man and the woman, no matter who has children first, you have to begin with God, period. Like, you cannot understand how these children are going to move in their emotions because they didn't come from your DNA. So you can't pinpoint their little things about them that you would from kids that come from your loins. So you got to ask the creator, the person that made them, how do I interact with these kids? How do I talk to them? How do I speak to their emotions? How do I guide them? How do I find their purpose? And how do I push them toward what it is that they're called to do? Mm-hmm. And being able to work with that other parent that you've now connected to, and then also being able to work with their biological parent. If they're willing to be a part of it, because everybody got to play a part. You cannot exclude anybody because you all pretty much are going to shape and form them into the adults that they're going to become.
That's it. Hey, listen, we're talking about happy blended families and baby mama, daddy mama drama. Daddy baby drama, all this good stuff, y'all. Listen, go ahead and hit share because someone needs to hear this. If not now, on the replay. But we this is a very top subject. We got a comment. Now, Charlie was on earlier with us, but she just sort of commented. I think it was pretty important. So let me read this to you real quick. It says, "See, my children's father created a problem once he saw my husband was his children's favorite topic." Okay, her new husband was his children's favorite topic. He hated that my husband showed them love. He should have. So in return, he bought toys to win them back over. Come on, y'all.
With that. Here's the problem with that. And again, another transcendent moment. I am guilty of this. And I felt like, and even though when things for me started falling apart, my boys were really young. But I didn't count on what was been spoken about a few times, is that the children, they see, they feel, and hear everything.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to speak on it because they stay in their place, but they feel it. And I thought that let me shift his attention from certain things.
Right.
But then I started to realize that it's not on my children to forget. It's on me to repair the damage that I may have done. That solely falls on the man or woman, depending on how your situation goes.
Mm-hmm.
Your former spouse moves on, and now they have another person in their life. Cool. Great. As long as they're not mistreating their children, then you applaud their ability to heal and move forward.
Wow.
As far as their impact on your children's lives, you should be your children's number one hero. That's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Some may refute it, but I feel like when it comes to my boys, that the man that they look at that they should admire most should be myself, followed by their grandfathers, followed by their uncles.
Okay.
That should be the men in their life that they admire most. So I have to do everything in my power, not to buy their affection, but I have to show them. I got to show and prove. I got to show up when they need me. I got to call to check on them. I got to ask them about their day. I got to, just like I would ask my spouse, like, hey, sweetheart, how was your day today? I got to call my son. Hey, big head, how was school today?
Right,
how was practice today? How you doing in math? Like, you got to give them that same love and affection that you give your spouse.
Yeah. You know what? And folks, I got to tell you, not because this is my son, BJ, and just like Donnie, my son was on early. These guys are dads. These guys are a heck of a fathers. I mean, they are much better fathers. You know what? I'm gonna put it this way, because remember, we used to say back in the day, any sperm donor can be a father, but it takes a special kind of man to be a dad. Okay, and so these guys are dads. Donnie's a dad. BJ's a dad. These guys are much better dads than I were. I can't say I am now, but where I work, but they're dads, they're dads, and they've been through the trials, they've been through all this stuff. I've got another son, that we're going to be talking to in a minute, who's been through some stuff, and it ain't all been pretty. It ain't all been pretty, because there's been the drama part of this thing too, yeah?
Yo, there's been tons of drama.
There's
been tons of drama. Because again, when you as a man, when you're supposed to be the head of your household, being the head of your household is not telling everybody what to do all the time.
Right.
Trying to make everything your way. Sometimes that's you having to shut up, because you keeping your mouth quiet is probably what's going to keep the peace in your household. I didn't always follow that model. So some of the dissension and other things that happened in my household, I caused directly, because I was running around beating my chest because I paid all the bills and I provided whatever. But again, that doesn't really make you anything. That doesn't make you the king of the castle.
Yes.
It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's just one of your general responsibilities. You're a man. You're supposed to provide for your family. Okay,
absolutely.
Next.
I know, right? Absolutely. Listen, we're talking about the happy blended family, Be My Mama's Drama. B, we do appreciate it, man. We do appreciate you coming on and sharing with us. And listen, I know, I know how difficult it is sometimes, to be in that position where you have to parent from a distance. You know what I mean? And I know that you're doing that. Listen, hit share, y'all. Hit share, because this is a topic we need to talk about. A lot of this stuff isn't, it isn't perfect. You know what I mean? A lot of this stuff isn't, it isn't. There's drama. I mean, you're not hearing it, right now. There's stuff that happens. There's arguments, there's fights. There's, you ain't gonna, I'm not. You can't see your baby no more.
It's court cases.
Yeah, that's court cases too. Right? I mean, you can't see your baby no more. What do you mean I can't see my? That type of stuff, because she mad or he mad. That you with somebody else and you're doing good. You're doing better than you were when you were with them. You're happy, and they can't stand you to be happy. So because you're happy, I don't want my kids around that B. I don't want my kids around. Yeah, Because he happy? You know, because he happy. But then, you know, you when well, he ain't a part of his son's life or his daughter's life. That ain't always his fault. Is that right, B? Ain't always his fault.
There's three sides to every story. There's my version, there's your version, and the truth.
And listen, you heard it here first, y'all. You heard it here first. Listen, we appreciate you. You know, thanks a lot, man. We appreciate you, man, and good luck. And we'll see you back, I guess, this side of the world next week sometime.
Yeah, eventually.
All right. Well, listen, thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate you.
All right. No.
All right. Again, listen, we're talking about happy blended family and baby mama drama, y'all. If you listen, I welcome your comments. You listen, text Let's Talk to 256-945-5439. Let me hear what you got to say. I tell you, it's it's something. It is something, y'all. This, you know, I've been through a lot of this, you know, myself. You know, unfortunately, you know, I've dealt with you know, situation, not necessarily, you know, baby mama drama, because I, you know, like B said earlier, you know, I caused a lot of issues. I caused them. You know, I was the one that you know, wasn't doing the things that I was supposed to do then. You know what I mean? Like Donnie said earlier, I made horrible decisions. You know what I mean? I had a lot of stuff. You know, I got a lot of stuff I deal with now, but more so then. You know, I like to think that I've grown up a bit now. You know, and life is a lot different to what it was. You know, so I definitely want to hear your comments. I definitely want you to, you know, just dial in. Let's hear it. You know, let's talk. 256-945-5439. Text Let's Talk. Let's see what you got to say. In the meanwhile, I got another individual I want to talk to real quick. So let's see if he's aboard. Let's see if he's here.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? America, meet my eldest. This is my son Darnell, AKA Shaq. Okay, but let me ask you. You know, we're talking about blended families and baby mama drama and all of that, man. You know, and yeah, what can you tell us? What can who can you help out here tonight?
Man, I can say this. Wow, after listening to my two brothers, man, I'm lost for words. but man, I can't say, you know, like, you know, me looking at my two brothers, you know, I can't take my head off to those guys. Those are some real fathers and dads, you know. I can't say I was the best, but I can tell you guys this. I came a long way. A long way. I'm fighting right now to this day to try to get my daughters back in my life. I got one of them on track. I'm trying to get my oldest back on track. You know, like dealing with the with someone else's kids. You know, I went through that. You know, my wife for 24 years, I did that with her sons. I raised her sons. And her oldest son, he loved me, you know. I mean, we damn. It's her baby boy. He can't get over that, oh, you ain't my dad. I never said I was your dad. But when your dad wasn't there for those 18 years, Shaq was there.
Right.
Shaq was there. Shaq made sure you had everything you needed. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like to reach back on what my brother said, that do hurt when a child tell you that. Because I also had my oldest kid's mom, her daughter, her father was killed when she was like 6 months. So I took on the task, and, you know, I raised the little girl till she got 15, 16. So around her 9th, 10th birthday, you know, she came at me and it really hurted me. You ain't my daddy. Ooh. I'm like, wow, you know, for her to throw that in my face, and I'm out here breaking my neck, doing everything to make sure this little girl had everything. Then one time her birthday came around, she, oh, daddy. I said, oh, no, remember, I ain't your daddy. And I heard it up. I had to show her how it feels, you know. But yeah, to touch on them bases,
wow.
You know, my wife have a relationship with a couple. And I don't mean to say this, and I only say this like, you know, but I have 9 baby mamas. And I don't talk to none of them. But my wife talked to a few. You know, at first it was rocky. Oh, they didn't like my wife, this, that, and other. Their kids would come around. But I can tell you guys this. My kids love my wife more than they love me. And that's crazy. That's crazy.
This is true. You know, y'all gonna find out why in a minute.
You know, because my wife is a lovable person. You know, like one of my sons I have custody of. You know, my wife took him in as he was hers, and like I say, this dude here is well respected. He lazy, don't get up wrong. He's lazy, he's definitely lazy. But you know, I mean, he loves you. You know what I'm saying? And you can't tell him that's not his mama. You can't tell her that's not her son. That's her son. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
do everything in the world for her.
Right. Listen, I appreciate. Listen, let me ask you, because I know, like I say, you see, I'm trying to hold back a little bit because I know their stories. I know my sons, all three of them. I know their stories. And I know Shaq's story. And I know there's some things there. I know there's some things that hurt him because he and I talk about it. I know there's some things that he and I we kind of deal with some of the same issues in a little bit in kind of a way. From past transgression or from past mistakes. We kind of deal with some of the same things when it comes to relationships with our kids and some of that stuff. But then those areas, Jack, that we choose, we choose to like sit back and wait. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing. I wait. I'm sitting back waiting in the situation, and you're waiting in the situation in terms of our sons. You know what I mean? I know you're waiting for the oldest boy to say, "Hey, listen, I'm just waiting on him." Because I know you made mention to me at one point, Pop, when I was able to do when I did all this stuff for them, I was okay. But when I stopped, feeding the money, when I stopped doing all this kind of stuff, that's when the relationship changed.
But I got a question. Like, I mean, you can only do so much. Like, if I can't say if I reach out to my kids and I try to get them to talk to me, open up, I gave them the floor. Like, man, you guys can tell me anything y'all want to say, anything you want to get off your chest, let me have it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, like I said, I wasn't the best parent, but you better believe when Shaq kids needed something, Shaq went out and got it. I never went out and harmed anyone, but I made sure my kids had it.
There you go.
When they got older and their mom moved them away and, she was in their ear, and,
yeah. How are we getting there?
They turned them.
Now we're getting there. So, I mean, and so I need some comments on this, y'all. And listen, let's talk. Text, let's talk. 256-945-5439.
You guys can ask me anything. I mean, I don't lie. I will tell you the honest truth. You just got to be willing to accept my truth because I'm going to tell you the truth.
That's it. And so we have that. We have this situation where it's either his mama or ex, the baby mama or the baby daddy, to get in the kid's ear. That will get in the kid's ear and start spouting that nonsense and planting those seeds of discord. You know what I mean? And they don't know the real, but because of the fact that you put that stuff out there, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I know you're talking about that a little bit, Shaq. So is that what you say? Something like that may have happened, or I don't know. What do you think? You think that may have been the case?
It is. It definitely is. It definitely is. And like I say, I have two younger kids that's biracial, and they mom, she can't stand my wife. And like I told her, I did wrong. You know what I'm saying? So what gives you the reason not to like my wife? My wife wasn't nothing but good to your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But for the life of her, she cannot stand my wife. But like I told her, at the end of the day, this is my wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going with it. Like my brother said, that's the same thing I had to talk with my other son, which is my wife's kid.
Uh-huh.
I had to let them know. We sat down, we had a heart talk, and I let them know, like, man, look, here's the shit. I've been with this lady all this time. I admit I did wrong. I mean, she stood by my side. You guys will have to let that go because I'm not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether y'all like it or not, you guys will be gone before I will.
Wow. So, and speaking of that person everybody loves more than you.
Yeah.
Is she available?
She don't actually. She's pulling up right now. That's
okay,
crazy.
Good. Yeah, so we'll just talk a few more minutes to give her an opportunity to come on board. But that's a lot. Go ahead.
It's crazy because both sides of my family like that word. Everybody loves us for Gigi. I'm talking about Gigi done been in every family function I done ever had. They love us for Gigi, boy.
Well, you know what?
They're going to get checked for Gigi.
But see, that's good. But see, she's got listen. I love my daughter-in-law too. I do, y'all. I'm on board too. But see, it's just that she has that kind of personality. But also one of the things that attributes to that is the fact that she doesn't deal, and I notice about her, she doesn't deal with the baby mama drama, because the child is more important to her than that drama. So
that's what it is.
You know what I mean? She don't deal with that.
She actually brought this light to me with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't sit there and argue and bicker and back and forth with them. it's all about the kids, And like I say, I applaud her for that. You know what I'm saying? She have taught me a lot, And me growing up trying to become a man, she have helped me a lot. But like I said, she caught me when I was a little whippersnapper, y'all. My nose was still running.
Yeah.
So I took my hat to this lady,
Yeah. Charlie made a comment. She wrote a comment here. She says,
Okay.
She says that, so I want to say this. She said, if someone is in their ear, it's nothing you can say. She said, they will believe what they want. But there will come a day when the truth will slap them in the face, and it's going to stop them in their tracks. I just hope it's not too late. And that's true, Charlie. Listen, they say what they say, but then there's going to come a time when that child won't be a child anymore, and the child's going to be an adult. And you'll be able to sit down. They'll be able to sit down with their father and with their mom and have one of those those grown up conversations and actually ask those hard questions. So what really went on? And so when you give them the truth, or your version of the truth, and they start comparing, well, mom said this, or dad said that, or mom said this, or dad said that, then what do you do? And that's when the truth side, as you say, Charlie, slaps them right in the face. That's when it slaps them right in the face. So so when it doesn't matter if they're in their ear at 9, what's going to happen is, when that conversation happens at 19 or 29, that's when it's going to really count. That's when it's going to really count. Now, 9 is important. Don't get me wrong. 9 is important, but 19 and 29, that's when let's talk about the truth, because now we're adults. Now, now we don't have anybody leading us. We don't have a parent, leading us around. We don't have mama, mama's version, or mama pulling us this way, or persuading us to go this way because she's mad at you.
Hey, Pop, I don't mean to cut you off, but here you go right here. Here goes Gigi right here.
All right. Miss Gwendolyn.
Yes.
Hey, America, meet Gigi. Meet my daughter, Gwen. How you doing, Gwen?
I'm all right.
Lovingly called Gigi. Hey, G, we talking about blended family and baby mama drama, and I know that ain't your thing, but, is there anything you can say to these, to the daughters out here? Is there anything you can tell them that can help them? Because I know, listen, so yeah, I know your story. I know you've dealt with some stuff, so is there anything you can share with them that can, can help them deal with some of the drama that they're dealing with right now? Listen, let me make it easier for you. Let me hit you with this one. Now, listen, I ain't trying to stir up nobody's Kool-Aid. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay, but let me hit you with this one. Let's say for instance now, somebody's out here, somebody who's tuning in right now is dealing with a situation where there was infidelity, where somebody went outside the home, had a child, and now now the wife or whoever, now you got to deal with the situation. How do you deal with that, Gigi?
Oh, well, it's hard. It is. But if you got a strong mind, you got to make sure you put your man to where you want your man to be, and set your boundaries of what you really want to do.
So when you say set your boundaries, what do you mean set your boundaries? What kind of boundaries are we talking about?
We talking about boundaries I'm gonna say, use me as an example, as of if you want to deal with it, or if you want to keep dealing with the same issue, or do you want things to change? Yeah, if you want things to change, you got to change yourself first.
Okay.
You got to make yourself happy and do what you need to do for self first before you do anything else.
But Gigi, here's a situation where I didn't went out, and I didn't cheat. First of all, I didn't cheated on you. I didn't cheated on you. We and we supposed to be this, and I went out and I had this indiscretion, and out of this indiscretion, I got a child. And now I'm bringing this child back to our life.
Right.
How hard is that?
It's hard. It's definitely hard. It is definitely hard. You got to really be focused and making sure that's what you really want to do before you get into it. Because if it's not, you're going to feel some type of way.
Okay.
You're going to either say, I'm going to deal with this right here, right now, or I'm not going to deal with it at all. But it's hard dealing with it because you got to deal with, like, let's say if you got the child, and then the mama come in and she wants the child, or, she causing all types of confusion or whatever with you. So you really got to think about what you really want to do. If that's what you really want to, if that's the road you really want to go down, If it is, you fight for it. If not, I mean, if you don't feel you can fight for it, I think you should just let it go.
So, do you, when you say fight, well, I mean, what do you fight? Are you fighting for your relationship with your spouse? Are you fighting for your relationship with the child? I mean, what are we fighting for?
You fight for the relationship with your spouse and your child.
Okay.
Because you look at it like that. If that's his child and you all are married, if you want to deal with that, you know, you got to think about all the things you got to deal with, you know, dealing with that. If you want to deal with it, you deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't handle it, don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it's hard, but if you put your mind to it and you really want to do it, if that's something you really want to do and you put your mind to it, you do it. It could be done. It takes a lot of work, but it could be done if you want to do it.
Now, Gigi, you know, Shaq was on, you know, Shaq earlier with us before you came on. You know, he kind of spoke to this a little bit. You know what I mean? And so, you know, we're gonna kind of stir it up, you know, just a little bit more. You know, I ain't gonna stay on it long, but I'm curious. Okay, I'm curious because you know you've had to go through this. Unfortunately, you've had to go through this. You know, and when it first happened for you, Gigi, I know it couldn't have been easy.
It wasn't. And I you know what? When it first happened, I was like, I ain't dealing with this. I said, I ain't dealing with this. But then once I started being around the child and got attached to him, it's different. It turned my attitude turned different toward it.
Mm-hmm. Right. You know, and I know for a fact, y'all, that listen, you know, he loves his mother more than he does his daddy right now. No, I'm just talking. You know it don't.
But one thing I did do, I never talked bad about her, or I never told him anything bad or anything. I let him, as he grow older, I let him know that, you know, the situation or whatever. Then as he grow older, he'll see for himself, you know, if you want to reach out to her, you reach out to her. If you don't, then I mean, I don't have a problem with that.
Now see,
either way it goes.
So you got a unique situation because, you know, not only, you know, was it an outside child, but you brought this child into your own home.
Right,
into your own home and raised this child as your own. Now, you know, that, how many women out here would do this, y'all? 256-945-5439. How many women out here would actually do it? How many women would actually do that? How many women would bring the outside child into their home, you know, and raise them as their own? Who would do that? You know,
you're right.
You know, text. Listen. Let's talk, y'all. Listen. Not only that, but you encourage. You know, and I know for a fact you encourage him at times to reach out to her.
Yeah. Like I said, I ain't telling you it's easy. It's not easy, but like I said, you gotta just want to. If it's something you really want to do. If you don't want to do it, then I suggest you not do it, because in the long run, you're gonna be looking at it like situations might not turn out the way you like it, or you might get a lot of drama to it. If you feel you're gonna get that and you want to go through all that, or you don't want to go through all that, I don't think you should do it. But if you're ready to, you know, climb that ladder and go for it and do it, then yeah.
Wow. You know, DG, you know I love you. You know I admire you. And I've always said that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've always said that. You know, because I think it takes a special woman to be able to do what you've done. You know, it really is. It takes a special person to be able to do what you've done. You know, not just a special woman, but a man that does that. You know, I can appreciate I can appreciate you just like I can, you know, BJ and Donnie for who they are. You know, also there's, you know, I got another person in mind right now that I'm thinking of too, is Mike. You know, my son-in-law Mike. You know, Daniel's husband. You know, my son-in-law Mike stepped in. I mean, he just stepped in. He stepped in, you know, to I mean, I can't say enough about this guy. You know, I really can't. I can't praise this guy enough. That I just can't. I cannot praise this guy enough. You know, and so every opportunity I get to thank him for being the man that he is and the dad he is to my grandchildren, I just have to, because, you know, he stepped in, and, you know, no one would ever, unless you told somebody, no one would ever know that he's not their natural father.
Exactly.
Unless he said, unless somebody, you know, you would never know. You would never know. I'm not talking about, you know, over the last, I'm talking for years this has been like this. For years.
Right.
For years. You know, I mean, this kid's almost grown now, you know. So, you know, practically grown. I mean, you know, they're in high school now, but for years. And so, I mean, it's been that way. It's been that way. And so, listen. So, you know, blended families do work. Bottom line, people, blended families do work. You just got to work it. You just got to put in the work. As Donnie said earlier, you got to put in the work. As BJ said earlier, you got to involve God as well. See, you got to. Sometimes you got to pray your way through a situation. You know, did you know what I'm talking about? Sometimes you have to pray your way through a situation. You know, sometimes you can't fix it. Sometimes you can't fix it. Sometimes it's going to take more than you to make it work. Sometimes you can't fix it. You know, listen, if you're seeking wisdom, just go to the man that has it all. Just go to the man who gives wisdom. If you need knowledge about a situation, go to the person, go to the creator. Go to the one who created us, who gave us wisdom, who gave us knowledge. Go to him. Go to him. Go to him. Gigi, I love you guys. I do. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Love y'all too.
Thank y'all so much for chiming in with us and hanging out with us. Okay, listen, 256-945-4439. We got a couple of minutes. You've got a comment. If you got something you want to talk about, you know, let's get back to it. Okay, Bianca had a question. She said, "How do you get back to the place of trust with your spouse and not have resentment for the child?" You know what? And I think she's kind of spoke to that a little bit. You know, Bianca, earlier we talked about that, and the way to get back to that place of trust. You know, and it ain't easy. I'm telling y'all, it ain't easy. I can speak to this on myself, y'all. It ain't easy. It ain't easy because you violated, first of all, a sacred trust. You stepped outside the marriage. You stepped outside of our vows. You stepped outside the promise you made me. You stepped outside the promise you made God. You stepped outside of that, you know, and you did whatever you did, even if a child wasn't, you know, wasn't conceived in it. You stepped outside. So now that trust is something that's got to be earned back. And listen, sometimes it takes years. Sometimes it takes years. But you got to be willing. If this is important to you, if it's important to you, then you'll go through whatever it is you need to go through, you know, to make it work. You'll go through whatever it is you need to go through to rebuild that trust, to rebuild that. You'll go through whatever it is you need to go through. You'll endure whatever it is you need to endure to make that work. If this relationship is that important to you, then you do whatever it takes to make it happen. You do whatever it takes. Sometimes that ain't the easy thing to do. I can tell you that right now. I can tell you from experience. Sometimes it's not easy to do, but you got to do it. You got to do it. Listen, Queen B and I went through a series, and I know she don't mind this. I don't mind being transparent. Listen, for 2 years, I wrote her. For 2 years, I wrote her. For 2 years, I wrote. 2 years, and she never returned my letter. 2 years I wrote. 2 years, and she never returned my letter. 2 years. 2 years. But you know what? She was being obedient. And she told me later, she was being obedient because God had told her, now it's not the time. And when he released her to write me back, you know, it was perfect. You know, so, you know, you have to put in the work. Now, I could have quit. I could have quit. But no. If it's important to you, then you do what you have to do. If it's important to you, then if you know in your heart, if you know in your heart of hearts, if you know that this is the person that God has chosen, you do what you got to do. Now, if you just out there playing, then you're playing. Okay? Then you're playing. But, you know, that's how you get back, y'all. You put in the work, and you're willing to take whatever beating's gonna come your way, because it won't be easy. It won't be easy. Listen, when you're dealing with this drama, understand where it's coming from. You got to understand where it's coming from. First of all, try to understand that, you know, if you're dealing with baby mama drama, why? Get to the underline. Find out what's really going on. Get to the underline. You know, is it about the kids or is it about you? Is it about the kids or is it about you moving on? Find out what's really going on. And then try to put something in place that'll fix that, because it's not just affecting you. It's affecting the kids. Okay? Same thing with daddy. You know, that daddy baby still, you know, my baby daddy, you know, find out what the underline is. Is he upset because you with Jimmy now, and Jimmy, you know, Jimmy buy the kids ice cream, and Jimmy keep the kids in Jordans, and Jimmy move you to a nice neighborhood, and Jimmy go to work every day, and Jimmy pay all the bills and all that. Is he upset at Jimmy because Jimmy being a real man? Is that the underlying problem? Jimmy doing what he should have been doing that Charlie said earlier? Is that the underlying problem? Okay? Find out before you just react to this baby mama dramas and this baby daddy stuff. Find out what the underlying issues are. Just do a little, instead of just going back and forth, find out what's really going on. And if you can't deal with it, if you can't deal with it your way, listen, sometimes, as my son B just say, get the courts involved. Sometimes you have to get the courts involved. You hate to go that way, but sometimes, you need a mediator. Sometimes you need somebody to establish those boundaries for you. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about boundaries. It's about boundaries. At the end of the day, listen, this has been a good topic, y'all. And we could have got real deep in this one. And I know we can go, because this is where a lot of hurt comes from. Baby, the baby daddy, mama, baby mama drama. There's a lot of hurt comes from it. A lot of kids are a lot of kids emotionally are destroyed because of this drama. So this is more than just, going back and forth about this. There's a lot of other stuff that happens in this. But at the same time, we know that blended families do work. Blended families can work. They can work, but it takes work. It takes work. It takes work. We have a blended family. I'm a blended family. Listen, my you heard 3 of them tonight, but these siblings, our kids, Queen Bee kids, these siblings, this blended family works. It works. I mean, we got 9 different personalities, but when they come together, what a powerhouse. What a powerhouse. What a powerhouse. We like to think we have something to do with that, but what a powerhouse. What a powerhouse, and we don't listen, we don't take no credit for ourselves. We give it all to God, because he did that. He did that. Okay. Listen, I'm Pop Brown. It's been real, y'all. I've enjoyed this. Thank you. Thank you to my sons. Thank you to my daughter-in-law. Thank you. And we're going to revisit this again, because I just think it's important. Thank you, Charlie, and everybody else that chimed in. Listen, I just think it's important. Listen, share this. Share this video. Share it. Share this segment, because it's important. It's important. All right. Listen, as always, I love you guys with the love of Christ. And I pray that everyone stays safe, through this crisis. Hopefully it'll end soon. You know what I mean? Do the practical things. And listen, I just pray for your family, and I just plead the blood of you. And tomorrow, listen, is Resurrection Sunday. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday for you. For those to know, it won't be the typical Easter Sunday, because we're going through what we're going through. But you know what? I thank God, that tomorrow won't be about Easter eggs and the bunny rabbit and all that good stuff. I thank God that tomorrow is going to be about him. Tomorrow is going to be about a crucified Christ. That's what it's going to be about tomorrow, a crucified Christ. So I thank God for that. Listen, and today I just want to pray for your families. Father, I thank you for keeping those families safe. I thank you for blended families, Father, that are working. I thank you, Father, that you are in the midst of these homes tonight, Father. I thank you that you are doing, Father, the work that you said. You are faithful in doing what you said you would do for these families, Father. So I thank you for it right now. Lord, I thank you, Father, that tomorrow as we celebrate the rising of our Christ, Father, as we celebrate that, Father, that you rise not only our understanding about what it's all about, Lord, and why we celebrate what we celebrate, but Lord, you'll rise up in us. You'll do a new thing in us. And as men and women, Father, and you'll teach us what's important through your Holy Spirit, Father. You'll teach us what's important when it comes to rearing the kids that you've given us. You've given us the charge over. You gave us charge over these children, Lord. Teach us how to raise them. Teach us how to do it your way, not our way, your way. Okay, Father, we just thank you right now. We thank you for it right now, and I thank you everyone that's viewing this video today, and those that will view in the future. We just thank you right now. Okay, and listen, we love you with the love of Christ. We do, and we will see you on next week. You guys be safe. Be safe. Do the right thing. Okay, put on your mask. Put on your gloves. Use your hand sanitizer. Wash your hands. Do the practical stuff. Stay healthy. Okay, in Jesus' name. All right. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.